About 2 years ago, there was a guy who was accused of stealing people's artwork and then presenting them as his own. Recently, another guy was accused of stealing people's One Piece theories and presenting them as his own. It seems to be the same case, but the way it is done is far more elaborate. Jim was scanning fan-made pictures, removing the signatures and photoshopping in a few effects. Alpha, on the other hand, took texts from a public forum, rewrote them, added his own pictures and his own music, and made videos out of them. There is way more editing going on in here, and there was no erasing of signatures taking place. So the question is, are these two cases the same crime? Starting with how nobody stole the original material but rather made an altered version of it. Having a signature on a fan-made picture makes it seem like it's copyrighted, but then again, aren't most fan-made pictures based on tracing characters from posters or book covers? And in the case of text, how does posting it on a public forum makes it copyrighted? How is making a video out of an altered text still counts as theft? And down to it, it's just stupid theories. Hot air made by battle shonen overthinkers. What content is there to be considered copyrighted? If something as simple as that can be called theft, then why aren't reaction videos considered theft as well? I am not talking about episode reviews, I mean those videos where they show the actual episode and comment on it as they watch it. So it all comes down to profit. The ones who drew the pictures or wrote the theories complained that the ones quote-unquote stealing them are getting views and making money based on their work, which was never meant to make profit on their part. If someone monetizes his videos or sells his supposed traced pictures based on material which was never meant to be making money, then he's making effortless money, which is not really stealing as it is cheating. Stolen material is essentially like clickbaits. They are just abusing monetization policies. More views, more exposure, more money. Low effort, high revenue, maximum shame.
I feel this kind of half-assed approach to writing in anime has become commonplace. The makers of Phantom World know they don't have to try to create interesting scenarios or original characters. They're aware that they just need to animate a harem of cute girls clumsily tripping over some half-assed male protagonist, and then sit back and watch the money print itself.
Most of us look down on anything involving copyrights because we believe it is against the freedom of expression. At the same time, any community is doing to the most part the exact same types of videos, reactions and episodic reviews and playthroughs. It does give you lots of views, but it also gets stale from a point on exactly because there are no copyrights. It's not just about copying a successful idea and making money and fame out of it, even though you are not the originator. We have this strange situation where copyrights are limiting the freedom of expression while at the same time limiting creativity. Because what would you do if, let's say, reactions and playthroughs were one day copyrighted? You would have to come up with something different or be more creative about it. I mean, there are already a dozen tricks reviewers are using so they can use video footage without getting a strike. All these are creativity resulting from limitations. And yes, I know YouTube is far from being fair when it comes to copyrights. What I am referring to is the ideal usage of copyrights, where everything is not about money or fairness or stealing people's ideas. It's about the need for creativity, not because of, but thanks to limitations.
The Flying Colors Foundation was supposed to be a non-profit organization aiming to revolutionize the way anime are consumed. Their first task was to have the Anime Man make a popularity contest about the 100 best anime of all times. Dozens of thousands of weebs participated just because Joey hyped it and had to share personal preferences unrelated to the contest. It was then revealed that these preferences would be used as marketing data, so companies selling anime merchandise would know what the participants wanted more of, automatically negating the non-profit part of the agreement, while also committing a scam by not being clear or honest about it.
That escalated quickly.
After that, huge anime YouTubers were paid to be consultants and eventually core members during the promotion of later supposed non-profit plans, one of which is most likely the hyping of the Otaku coin that is scheduled for summer of 2018.
Turning players into payers.
Despite Gigak, who was also paid as a consultant,
anime is trash. And so am I.
Making a huge post about why this is not a scam. It clearly is if you see who else is involved in it. Mother's Basement is the biggest sellout there is, and would never participate if there wasn't a profit for him to grub on.
And if you use the promo code BASEMENT when you check out, you can get 600 yen off one of the light novels, making the deal even sweeter.
Also, the anime man has been accused of doing shady business in the past, such as selling bootleg dakimakuras, and every time he's caught, he's simply deleting the videos that are incriminating him and stays silent about it. Which is exactly what he did again with videos where he mentioned the Flying Colors Foundation and is now staying silent about it.
In reality, he's not that, critical. We can, or like, a lot of,
You know who else was involved? Digibro! Oh yes, even he who claims he's not doing it for the profit. Although in his case, I wouldn't be surprised if he just wanted to get lots of free lolly dakimakuras from Joey. Because promoting pedophilia is artistic expression, and no harm can come out of it, so Patreon lost his respect.
There's no negative consequences that can come from this.
Once again, it is proven that all the big shots are hypocrites and sellouts.
And remember the golden rule: making money.
I got this comment today by a chibit who called me a piece of shit because the only thing I'm doing is stealing other people's content without being creative in the slightest. Do you know how many layers of bullshit this claim has? Let me number them for you. Number 1, I am not stealing content, I am exposing the truth. Something you cannot do without evidence, and evidence requires from you to show the content. Number 2, I currently have 800 videos, and they are not all just clips of other people. But you don't know that because you didn't bother to check them out. Number 3, I am being extremely creative since I am clipping the original content, usually mixing it up with other videos, to the point it becomes a thing of its own, with a completely different message than the original. Number 4, I am not stealing content and presenting it as my own. You know the footage is not mine, and I show you the videos I used. Number 5, I am being accused by a guy who is doing nothing to improve the community. He doesn't make videos, he doesn't educate or inform anyone. The only thing he does is trying to scare away the only guy in this godforsaken community who bothers to expose the truth. Meaning, he's supporting the exact opposite of what he thinks he's achieving with his comment. He says it's a mistake to go after Chibi because he never insults and encourages others to have their own opinion. How does this make any sense when Chibi's bullshit constantly insult me and I have my own opinion by disagreeing with his god-awful tactics? Number 7. Which tactics am I talking about, you might ask? Oh, this is the best part. I disagree for the exact same things this idiot is accusing me of. The stealing, the insults, and the lack of creativity. You think all the bullshit symbolism he constantly squeaks about are his? No, they are not. They are stolen from others. You think the bullshit prediction and theories are his? He steals them from other people. You think the fan art he constantly uses in his thumbnails is his? He steals even that without even crediting the creator. And that, for some reason, is not lack of creativity, it's not theft of content, and it's not insulting anyone. It's not like he's making thousands of dollars every month through other people's work while making it seem like it's all his idea or something. What you're doing is not what a decent man like Chibi does. Yeah, sure, that's exactly what is going on here. Decent men should be shutting the fuck up and let evil triumph. So tell me, Mr. Atanu, how fucking stupid do you feel now for defending Chibi and accusing the snob? Feel the burn! There is a lot of talking about how you can grow your channel on YouTube, advices and analytics on how the algorithm works with tabs and keywords and thumbnails and a whole other stuff. Well, let me tell you this. Someone in Latin America uploaded yesterday a camera rip of the Broly film. Within one day, that video got 5 million views, and that channel gained 30,000 subs. That's how you grow your channel. Obviously, the video will eventually be taken down. Most of the subs are going to be dead, and you're not gonna get that many views afterwards. But in case you wanna be a draggable dick rider channel, you just got yourself tens of thousands of possible followers with a simple camera rip. Even if 1/10 of them stick around, you will still have several thousands of subscribers right away without trying. That's how you grow your channel. Not with quality content, pretty colors, good editing or whatever. Just take your camera to the cinema and illegally film the latest trending movie. That's how fair life really is. And because this video came out short, here is something relevant from a panel I went to during YumaCon a few years back.
General tags like hilarious, funny, comedy, etc. Okay. These are things that people are searching for regularly, and so that the more you are closer to those titles and those type of things, the more people will find you randomly. So if you learn how to SEO your videos correctly, you'll be able to get found a lot faster than normal. Also follow trending topics. You can get on top of trending topics as quick as possible. You can get a video that'll hit like 40,000 in a day when your average might be 200.
I wish.
Right. Let me get that right. So top of the sandwich is the topic. The bottom of the sandwich are the adjectives. What's in the middle? What's the meat?
So I came up with the idea because I was like just watching how it works. So it's your name. So because your videos are tied to each other and related videos. So if your name is first, suggested video will be yours, right? And then the next part of it is the very specific content. So those, the long tail keywords. That's the meat. And then the bottom of the sandwich is the more generalist.
You said you're studying tags. Now, a lot of people don't know there's actually a lot of good analytic tools out there, like TubeBuddy and Viduli. Which one did you use?
vidIQ.
Yeah, I use vidIQ too.
vidIQ.
It's really cool. It tells you a lot of data about the keywords. Like if people are even searching for that keyword.
It'll show you like
I never use them, by the way.
based on like certain keywords or whatever, like you might be like ranking 5 or whatever, the funny tag or whatever. So when people search funny, your video is probably going to, along with other metrics and stuff, it's more likely to search like 5th in the YouTube search list.
So one thing I found out recently was I do, every week I do recaps of Pokemon Generations, and I figured out that I am ranking number 2 for Pokemon Generations review, but no one's looking for that. Everyone's looking for reactions. So my next video to follow it up, I changed it to reactions, and I started ranking number 3 for that, and that video got like double the views.
Alright.
So you kind of like look and see what the metrics are.
Yeah, SEO is very, very hard to figure out, and it takes a lot of practice and just sort of fumbling around with, trying new ideas with your channel and everything like that.
And it changes all the time. The algorithms on YouTube change all the time. If you want to learn about that, spend a good $500 and go do like VidCon or get one of their little YouTube certifications, which is really tough to get.
Buy your own views and be done with it.
Get one of those, but then you need to get renewed next year when they change everything. So let's ask the same question to you guys. How do you get your name out there?
Well, as far as like the Twitch stuff, it took a while for me to get my stuff. Like, I guess this is more catered to Twitch stuff, but I guess it goes the same with YouTube and stuff. I've been pretty much streaming for about 8 years this year, and only in the past couple of years I really got really noticed. I guess it's about just like having like sort of like trying to cultivate like a community, I guess, based around your channel. Like you're gonna like starting off, you're not gonna have too many viewers, but you're gonna have like a lot of you're gonna have like maybe like 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 viewers who are gonna be like really dedicated to your content. And so I think it's important to sort of interact with them as much as possible. So then, like, they will be like, hey, this guy, he's a small YouTuber or whatever, but he has like a really sort of friendly and welcoming community. You should probably check him out sometime. And it starts getting from there and there. And that's sort of a disadvantage too of having like a larger YouTube channel. It's harder to be like close to a lot of your viewers, but you can still sort of work with it. I would say like trying to create a friendly, open environment with your channel is something really, really important to do.
Anything?
I think a big thing that a lot of people don't consider is collaborations and working with people.
Piggybagging, I hate that.
Huge, easy, quick way to get bulk views. You're not going to establish a fan base by working with people unless you become a regular part of that content creation or of that group. But you can easily grab at people who want to see like-minded content or content in that same vein. For example, if you work with someone who already has all those views coming in or has that fan base. So if you can kind of work yourself into the community or kind of just talk to people or figure out what people are organizing in the content you want to create and then get an audience that way, then you'll kind of get those stragglers that want to continue seeing stuff personally from you or watching things that you're creating or you're doing personally. I've found a lot of success in that myself. And then once they get adapted to your own style, it's easy to get a consistent audience that wants more of you, more of your stuff, more of what you're creating as related to what they were doing.
Yeah, and eventually you'll start establishing your own brand based on like, they may know you as like ex-YouTuber's just friend or whatever starting off, but then over time they'll see, oh, this guy actually pushes out really good content. They're more than just sort of the sidekick person. They're actually like a really good person on their own. And yeah, that's something that's kind of hard to establish at first, but once you start pushing out more and more of your own content, it's really easy to sort of get your name out there after that.
I mean, you probably noticed in like bigger YouTube videos of like personalities where when they bring in other people, if they do really well, there will be all those comments with all those thumbs like, oh, I love this guy, or oh, he's hilarious, or he's the one, or bring him in for more and more stuff. And those people are going to be paying attention and watching, and if you can get it to them going, hey, I'm doing this, then you have that whole audience that's going to migrate over to what you're doing. Right. So it's just kind of, establishing your own thing out of working yourself into what's already going on.
In that same vein, I'll say, even if you're small, like, don't be afraid to write, like, your YouTubers that you know, like, letters, like, or even just, you know, on Twitter or something like that. Because I've gotten, like, people who are way bigger than to work with me on YouTube. So I was sending like, a simple, like, letter to them. And they were like, yeah, I'll do a video with you, whatever. And, like it was with the Anime Man, Boogie 2098, a few other people I know, like, personally. Now, because of that, just being like, you know what, I have 300 subscribers at the point, that's when I did it. And they're like, okay, you seem like a really nice guy, I'll help you out. So just be, like, willing to take that chance, because the worst thing they'll do is ignore you.
Yeah, and you never know, they might make cameos in their little movies that only get seen at 3 different screenings. That's how I got Alana, the overly obsessed girlfriend, and Mr. Guitar Man, and a couple other people. But it is hard. You can't just go like, I'm going to grab this big YouTuber. It doesn't always work. So a lot of times you do want to work with people within the same subscriber range as well. And good research for that is Social Blade. That's another great analytic tool.
Good likes to get it out that.
I would say be on different platforms and like using tags. Like I'll be on Instagram like, okay, so I'm crazy and I do too many things at once and that's why I feel like I crash and burn whenever I try something. So like I'll try to do YouTube.
Well, you're supposed to experiment everything. YouTube became my resume. My day job is video. My day job is audio video production, you know, and I've been doing it, and YouTube has been my resume.
Yeah. But like, so like
That's
around
the only thing I'm doing.
I start to do more like cosplay stuff now. Like I post on Instagram and do a lot of tags on there. On Twitter, you can actually use tags on Facebook. And then if people say find you through your cosplay stuff, and then when time would be over, like, oh, you do videos now too. And then people might be, because they will like your cosplays, like, oh, maybe I'll watch your videos and stuff. And then like I went on Twitch, and then like some people who found me then on Twitch would go to my other social media and start to build up that way. So being on multiple platforms and just trying to experiment, like some people may like you better on one platform than the other, so just try to find a balance and just mix that around. Because like I actually, when I was streaming a lot on Twitch, it was growing pretty well for at least what I thought I was doing on there. So yeah, so just be on different platforms. Don't stick to just one thing, because some people may not be on a certain platform. Like there are people that because they hate the algorithm of Facebook, they won't be on Facebook. So yeah.
The only thing I have to add to that, and already hit it several times. Networking. Hey, this is what I do. Oh, that's what you do. Let me go check you out. Let's work together. Maybe we'll do a panel where we make fun of Z Kids, or you guys are talking about.
Don't ever make fun of Z Kids.
All right.
I am Peter Malusis, also known as that Anim Snob, and I want to ask, how much being negative in your videos or going against the public opinion affects the growth of your channel? Ooh, I got them there.
I do think that if you're really negative and go against the opinion of what your fans think is okay, people will leave. I have definitely made videos where I used to just kind of do like really strong rants, because I'm like, this is how I feel about it. And people were like, nope, unsub, nope, I'm out. No, because most people want someone that's like-minded to them, because people are very self-centered, I believe, in YouTube. So
about being relatable.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, people do that. So, but I watch people who or think like me, or like excited about things I get excited about. That makes me just excited. If they went on like, oh, Pokemon sucks, I would get angry and I would leave their channel immediately.
You have to think if you are more interested in getting the views for being negative, or if you do want to just have a positive channel. It depends. I feel like a lot of times some people who do try to be negative on purpose just do it for views. So they might just get a reputation of being like a troll or being negative bad. So you have to think, is having a bad reputation and having people think negatively of you a lot. If you're always negative, always angry, like legitimately you bad person, more important that are the views worth it kind of thing.
And I did know a guy that actually made a YouTube living off of being negative and putting things out there that he knew people wouldn't like. I would not recommend following his example, and he would, get so much, he would delete videos, but then he would come back. Although I really liked this video that he did titled Minecraft Sucks. It was a self-produced song with a very bad beat, but it was really catchy. And he got rid of that, and he thankfully disappeared into the night, and hopefully by saying
I don't plan to do that.
It's not very long, so I'm not going to say his name.
It's important that that opinion is something you very truly feel and are ready to defend, because I think what a lot of viewers want out of the people they watch are honesty, transparency, and they will just want to be able to enjoy their content. And if this is something you feel very, very strongly about and you know it's going to get a negative reception, put it out anyway. Because people like to know more about the people that they watch, and so even if they don't agree with it, the people who are really true to you as fans are going to stay with you, and they're going to say, maybe I don't really agree with this guy, maybe I don't want to watch his video on this topic or whatever, but I can respect that he has such a strong view about this, and I think that's something to definitely keep in mind.
The internet is shallow and petty, and takes everything at face value, and is just flat, and what you see is what you get, period. If you make content or videos that go against the popular opinion, at the end of the day, no matter what, almost guaranteed you are going to lose followers or views or attention. But the thing is that if the content you're making in that stance is worthwhile enough, or true to what you want to make enough, or actually hits your target audience hard enough, then you can bounce back and grab far more attention that way than you would have if you just, didn't say what you wanted to say about the issue or made what you didn't want to make on it. It's fighting an uphill battle at all times, but you can come out even stronger if you do it right. And if you really stick to yourself or do something worthwhile on it.
Now, were you talking about talking as yourself, or were you talking about maybe using a character? Because a lot of people, will use characters or inside of a sketch. Is that what you're thinking of? Like maybe
it's half and half. What I talk about in my videos, which are usually negative, is indeed playing a persona, but I do believe whatever I'm saying, I'm just making them being extreme, like I make it sound like it's a lot more negative than it actually is, because I want them to react in the comments, so they will have an actual debate going on instead of having a circle jerk going on.
I like you.
If you do it entertaining, then go for it.
Yeah,
I would watch you. That sounds funny.
I would try to make it clear that you're a character at some point, even if it's not in the same video, so people can relate. But yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you know what you're doing and it's working for you.
Yeah. Be entertaining above anything else. Yeah. Don't just whine. Don't just be like, I'm so cool because I hate this. Do what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. Be entertaining, a personality. Don't just do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, people love hyperbole too. They love seeing people react so extremely. So having a character that sort of nurtures that a little bit, that's a brilliant idea, and definitely keep that up.
Good. I keep doing it then.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, if it works for you, man, just do it.
It works for me so far.
Yeah. I dislike everything. How about that? So, where all your videos are like, Pokemon is garbage, and Twitch is bad, video games are terrible. But then let's say you go, oh wait, I like this thing, and you want to make a video on it, no one's going to care, no one's going to want to hear your actual opinion on it. Yes, they're going to want that, like, but you don't like this, your channel's being crazy.
Like everything.
Yeah. Your channel is, why would you like this? How could you like this? Why don't you tear it apart? Or, oh, you're dumb, or...
What would be interesting, though, is, like, if you establish yourself as that for, like, so long, but then you put out the video that's like, I like this.
Yeah.
And then watch that blow up.
So basically, mind game.
Yeah, mind game your audience.
Mind game your audience. The craftier and trickier you are, the more underhanded practices you take. Just be genuine at the end of the day. Don't try and fake stuff or any of that, because people will know. People won't like it. It doesn't work.
And have some of your own personality. Don't just be like, this guy has a great example. I'm just going to do what they're doing. Make sure it's you in the end of the day. That it's something that you want to do. Just don't copy someone else because that person already exists. Be you.
So we got some spoilers for the Boruto anime. Here's a nice tease for the Boruto anime. This image that they're teasing, these spoilers might be the best thing yet. We got a silhouette of some characters. It's just a silhouette. You can't really tell what it is. What the heck could that be? Who could that be? What is going on here? But upon further inspection, that is Kisame and Itachi, and that's the Samehara.
He likes to build things up as like larger than life.
Sasuke interacting with Itachi, giving Itachi some type of heads up.
The silhouettes are getting out of control.
Looks like the Samehara over his head. It doesn't look like it at all. They look like they got two cloaks. There's two people. With this clearer image, it definitely doesn't look like Itachi and Kasami. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm so hype and excited to see Itachi see his little brother.
It keeps me on the edge of my seat with all those silhouettes.
I ain't gonna lie, that is very, very disappointing.
What a disappointment.
And remember the golden rule. None of us make a dime. I ain't gonna lie right now. None of us make a dime. I ain't gonna lie. I don't win nothing. Not gonna lie. Congrats. You made nothing.
He's lying.
Some years ago, there was this manga called Kakegurui, which became somewhat famous when the adaptation came out and was then quickly forgotten by everyone because it wasn't a popular fighting shonen. Crazy horny bitches playing nonsensical gambling games with zero tension is far from the type of anime most people would watch. So the mangaka of this shit manga went on to make Cheat Slayer, another shit manga, which got cancelled in a single chapter because the bad guys were straight up imitations of protagonists from popular isekai. This is far from the first time it has happened, and frankly speaking it's mostly the result of laziness. Making a parody or homage to something does not require making it look or sound the same. It only needs to feel the same. Here are some examples. The Rise of the Shield Hero, which is also a trashy revenge porn isekai, has the opposing heroes being parodies of the archetypes found in isekai. They don't look like someone in particular, they only feel the same. Recreators, you know, that modern classic everyone forgot before it even managed to end, had every character being a representation of a genre archetype, and thus of nobody in specific. Several characters of My Hero Academia, you know, the new gold standard for shonen that nobody cares about anymore, are based on the designs of Western superhero comics, but they are not a satire of those characters and are different enough for standing on their own. One Punch Man was a satire of superhero cliches at first, before becoming a generic superhero action series with horrible animation because it couldn't keep repeating the exact same joke over and over again. It wasn't making fun of specific characters, only of the cliches, and thus could get away with it. The Eldians of Attack on Titan are often depicted as Jews, but have a different enough background story for standing on their own. The mangaka of Cheat Slayer didn't do any of that. He was being lazy and copied the looks and the behaviors almost identically. He could have asked to be given the rights for a parody of pre-existing characters before going forward with it. That's what several dark superhero series are doing for creating imitations of the Justice League. Or he could have used characters that are public domain and have no risk of getting legal action from those who have the copyrights. That's what Fate Stay Porn did with the heroic spirits. It's not that hard to get around it if you do some digging first. But that is not what the mangaka did. He was being lazy, he used imitations of copyrighted characters without the consent of the creators, and this is the result. All because of lack of imagination and laziness, the defining characteristics of modern entertainment. Chibi exposed the fake he is once again. At the end of this video he says he made private the My Hero Academia video he had made before this one because he made a tiny mistake about Endeavor's arm.
So yesterday I made a My Hero Academia video, and I made a mistake in it, and I will accept when I make mistakes. I made a mistake about Endeavor's arm.
Okay, that sounds reasonable, you might think. He didn't want to spread misinformation and took it down. If you believe that, you are fools! It's the exact same mistake Anima Pro made in his previous video about My Hero Academia. One he admitted making without taking down the video just for that. Because his fanbase doesn't turn against him like rabid dogs every time he's slightly negative.
I need to apologize for a mistake I made in my review of the previous chapter. I thought that All For One had torn off Endeavor's right arm. It turns out that All For One actually hit Endeavor just under his right armpit. My bad for misinterpreting these panels, and thanks to everyone who pointed this out in the comments of my previous video.
Basically, Chibi didn't make the video private because he made a mistake, but because he didn't want to lose thousands of depressed subscribers. He's also not even reading My Hero Academia anymore, he just listens to Anima Pro videos and parrots whatever he says, including his mistakes. It's something he has been doing since the Tokyo Ghoul era, when he was stealing thumbnails and theories from forums for easy clicks. He's a grifter, a parasite, someone who preys on the depression and immaturity of others for profit. And when you expose all that, here's the kind of comments you get from his retarded fanbase.